for the Kazznation Sports Talk Show with your host, David Kaz, and your color commentator, Mr. Derrick Gunning.
All right. Hey, Kazznation. David Kaz07 here with the ever-entertaining Mr. Derrick Gunning. As you can see, he looks a lot better because we have a better camera for him. As we're ever increasing, we haven't been doing any videos for a long time here. But we are back, ready in action. We're gearing up for a live show, so you will see that this wonderful system setup is going to look a little different as we are gearing up to start doing lives. We're hoping 4 or 5 videos, and we'll get into some live shows. And Saturday at 1 p.m. I think is what we're going to shoot for. We haven't really discussed it yet, but we'll figure that out. We're excited, and hopefully you guys can grow with us. But man, it's wild card weekend recap. We got a few minutes of that. Then we're talking
super wild card weekend.
It was super wild card weekend. Then we're going to talk about the 4 matches for the divisional round, and we're going to do a recap. It's going to be a quick, painless show. Hopefully about 30 minutes. Let's break it down, man. So first off, how are you? How are things?
Things are great. We're doing good.
It's good. It's been a minute.
Been a while. Yep.
I am excited.
How's things over in your end?
It's good. Kids are getting better. So I know everyone who's watching on social media that knows the kid's situation. They are recovering, so they are good, and we are back in action. So let's break it down. You ready to talk about some recap? We've got a few games that happened. Really good matchups. We had 2 blowouts, and then some weird games, man. Some two upsets, 2 games we knew that would have happened. The Bengals and the Bills. So we knew they were going to come out on top. But those are rough games to watch. If you're fans of any of those franchises, those are rough games to watch because you're supposed to win, you're doing really well, and then it's just rough. But defense makes plays, offense stands up finally, and it's fun. It's fun. It really is. So let's talk about Dallas. We know Dallas is a big game here. They're finally up on top. They beat the pants out of the Bucks. They did what they should have done. So,
yeah, Dak played a real good game.
Yeah, he's the best. Pro Football Focus has him rated as the best quarterback in that game. So that's really exciting. Really exciting for Cowboys fans. I mean, I hate the Cowboys so much just because they're like America's team, and I want the Buffalo Bills to be America's team. But I'm not going to stop hating on the Dallas Cowboys. But I love their offense, I love their defense, love everything that they have, and they're going against a really good team, which we'll get into in a moment. But Dallas blew the pants off the Bucks. We knew Tom Brady is out. Who knows where he's going to land? Real quick, where do you think he's going to go? Got like 13 seconds.
I know they had Raiders. I know there's Miami again. I don't know. There could be a few. Well, I don't think Miami because they're sticking with Tua, but he can go anywhere, dude.
I don't know if they're going to stick with Tua. Tua is concussion prone, so who knows? But
it depends.
Yeah, it depends. All right, so we got Dallas did a great job, and then we have San Francisco 49ers, who are probably the best team in football. I don't care what anyone says. They've got so much talent that you can have Derrick starting as your quarterback, and you're fine.
Right.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel. I mean,
that's a loaded team.
Loaded. And then the defense is loaded, too. They played a really good game. Seattle did stop them for that first half.
Well, I was going to say, Seattle did keep it close for a little bit, but then, the better team prevailed.
Yeah, the better team did prevail. But they kept it
What about
close,
Brock
man.
Purdy? Side note, Brock Purdy, right? Wow. I mean,
anyone could be in that backfield.
No.
No, you don't think the rookie pressure is going to get to him? Who knows, man? Who knows? Mr. Irrelevant, being irrelevant, being really relevant.
He's undefeated right now.
He is undefeated.
And technically, he should have one more because he came in and relieved Garoppolo and then injury and won. So should be like 7-0 right now as a starter.
In my eyes, he is. I mean, he's good. He's golden.
He's calm, cool, collected.
Calm, cool, and collected. Yeah, I love it. I mean, he is a good player. I think that he's just getting into his own. He's still a rookie, but he's got so much talent behind him.
Last draft.
Last pick of the draft, Mr. Irrelevant. It's perfect, man. It's perfect. All right, so we've got 2 upsets we want to talk about, right? We want to talk about the Vikings getting shattered, their hopes and dreams falling apart because the Giants are like, nah, we're better.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Brian Daboll.
Brian Daboll coaching, coming out of the Andy Reid program all the way through. Like, I mean, he's looking good. He's taking his team. Jones looked phenomenal. It's Dak Prescott, and then the second best quarterback is Jones. And it was fun to watch, man. These games were fun to watch. But I really want to talk about the one game. And I know I waited till the end. We got like a minute and 45 seconds left in the segment, but I want to bring it up. We don't want to talk about the Bills and the Bengals. They won their games. But, I know the Raiders didn't make the playoffs. But what happened to your Chargers? Did their balls fall off?
I think they fell asleep.
I think they fell asleep, man. There's 27-0, right? You go into the half, you come back, you're going to win this game. Like, all rights, you should have won this game.
Right.
And I don't want to talk about how good the quarterback was for Jacksonville, as he was mediocre at best. 3 interceptions. He was not the best, but they came back to win it against a Chargers team that is loaded, too. Because they're loaded, too. They have almost
I
the
do
same
think
set of talent.
I do think they lost Williams in that game too, though. That was their best receiver.
Yeah.
But no excuse to blow a 27-point lead.
Third best comeback in the history of the NFL.
But I do want to say, the whole year, we were just saying, I just said they were going to make the playoffs.
I
I
never said they were going. I said if they make the playoffs, they're going to lose. But I did also say they weren't going to make the playoffs.
You said they were going to be, yearly misses.
Yeah, I stand corrected. However,
but that is
a debacle. But hey, once you get in, you always got to get in the first time. You lose, you win, whatever case happens. It's that second year. If you can get in that second year, you're going to be a perennial playoff quarterback. I don't think they got what it takes unless they do change a few things off, like offensive coordinator, general management staff. I don't know what's their problem, but
hey, they passed on Brian Daboll because they didn't want to wait.
They didn't
that extra week. And look what he's doing with the Giants right now.
Hey,
man, could you imagine Brian Daboll with Herbert? I mean,
I would be nervous if I was the Bills.
Dude,
I'd be shaking in my boots. But so those are the games. I mean, Chargers, sure, maybe they'll get back there next year. Vikings, maybe they get back there next year. But Giants, Jags, they're ahead of schedule. Bills, Bengals.
Can we talk about the Bills real quick and what an ugly win that was?
Yeah, we could bring it real quick. We can extend this segment. This is why we're working on the live stuff here.
Just quick note of what an ugly win that was.
Hey,
but a win's a win, right?
Hey, Bills and Miami. That was an ugly win.
Ugly.
Bengals and Baltimore, ugly win.
Ugly.
I mean, It's playoffs, man. As you can clearly see, anything can happen. 2 upsets. One was the craziest upset probably of all time.
Yeah, it sure was. But
that was unbelievable. Jags, what they did was unbelievable. However, that's more of a failure on the Chargers' fault. I'm not bashing the Chargers because they still got there, but definitely they failed.
I just told you earlier, the Chargers were at a +5 in takeovers.
How
and the Jags were at a -5.
Mind blowing. You know what? You know what? Let's get into that because that's the first game that we're going to talk about. We're going to go ahead and bring in the divisional round. We're going to talk about what we like best here. I think I picked on the wrong. So let's let that play through. It's pretty, isn't it? All right, no, it's not it. What? There we go. Here we go. Here are the stats for the divisional round. I have Kansas City versus Jaguars. Obviously, we're all picking Kansas City. We don't have to talk about that unless we want to. But let's go over a few things here. We have the yearly stats for Kansas City on the left. We've got Jaguars stats on the right for the wild card game that
for their playoff game.
Yeah, for their playoff game. Let's say stats were going to be based off the playoff game, except for Eagles and Kansas City. They'll be based off their years because they didn't play in the playoffs because they were the first seed.
Correct.
And as much as you want to say the whole AFC, Bengals, Bills, Kansas City issue because of DeMar Hamlin, whatever happened. Obviously, DeMar Hamlin, we're glad that you recovered and hope to see you play football again if you decide to. Just really glad to see you up and running and at practice. Fantastic. But whatever happened. It doesn't matter to me. Kansas City is the first seed. They're going against Jacksonville. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to go against Jacksonville because I'm a Bills fan. We would love it. Sure we would. But
we were close.
We were close.
So close.
So close. But let's piggyback off of one thing here. Defensive turnovers, 0. But they turn over the ball 5 times. They actually, I think I said it wrong. Trevor Lawrence had 4 interceptions, and there was 1 fumble. That's 4 interceptions, and they came back to win the game with the 3rd greatest postseason victory of all time. So, it's good. It is like good for you, Jags. I'm excited. I picked them to be good, but they just took a little bit to get there, I guess.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be interesting to see them play Kansas City. I think they can give Kansas City a run for their money. I really do.
You know, Kansas City last few games have been playing really bad teams, but they've been playing them bad. Not knocking Kansas City. I still think they're going to come out on top, but they've been playing. They went into overtime against the worst team in the league, or supposedly worst team in the league. Funny thing about Houston, Texas coach winning a game, so they don't get the 3rd and he gets fired. Whatever. Cool. I love it. I mean, awesome. But the Kansas City Chiefs have their heart cut out because Jaguars playing with house money. They don't care. They win, lose, whatever. They're going to do whatever they can to win.
They've got nothing to lose. They weren't at the beginning of the season. They weren't even picked to be in the playoffs.
So a few good highlights I want to bring up real quick. Obviously, we know the Kansas City is the best passing attack in all of football. Patrick Mahomes is the number 1. He's probably the MVP candidate. I hate to say it, but he has a new single-season record for total yards, 5,614 yards for a player. So that's both rushing and passing. He also led the league with 41 passing touchdowns and 5,250 yards of passing. So he is by far the best quarterback right now in all of football. Don't get me wrong. We get the Josh Allen, Jim Burrow, we even bring the guy from the Chargers into the conversation. But he is the best, right? So he's the MVP, probably the MVP of the year. Who knows how the vote's going to go. But Isaiah Pacheco, 27th in the league of rushing with 181 yards. The issue that we have with 181 attempts, sorry. The issue that we have with Kansas City is they can't run the ball, which is fine. They don't need to run the ball. They can throw the ball. You have 67.1% completion percentage. I mean, it's very similar to Josh Allen, some of these other top-tier quarterbacks. They do turn over the ball a little bit. They had 11 interceptions, 11 fumbles. But honestly, like, Kansas City is an all-around good team because of their quarterback. Their defense gets home, 59 sacks.
And the tight end, too. You can't forget the quarterback.
Can't forget about Kelsey, no. So the defense does get home. Their secondary is lackluster, but their defense gets home. They're the 3rd best team in all of football in sacks for the year. 59 out of 334 pressures. Really high percentage, too. So they get home when they do blitz quite a bit. We look at the Jags. They only had 2 sacks on 24 pressures. I mean, they probably won the worst games ever that they've played this year, and they won the game. So I think that talks about their grit. They could play well, but I don't know if they can. If they go down 27-0 in the first half, there's no way Kansas City walks out with the loss. No way. Because they will put you away, and they will keep putting you away. They score whenever they want to.
I think last game, the second half of last game, and getting the comeback win, it built Trevor Lawrence's confidence a lot more. Okay, I can do this. You know, like, it's football. So
yeah, I mean, he's got the same. Lawrence has the same stats, or their whole Jaguars team has the same stats as the Bengals do, minus the interceptions. I mean, 273 passing yards, 117 rushing yards. Really weak completion percentage, but it's a youngster coming up. Take it on the king. See who wins. It's gonna be a fun game. This is your first game. This is I have 4:30 on NBC, but I'm sure that's wrong. I didn't fix it. Damn it. It's 3:00 today on Saturday, which we're gonna see this game. It's gonna be one of the best.
4:30.
Oh, 4:30. It is on 4:30. Great.
Yeah.
It is on the 21st. Hey, I did fix it.
And then the night game's at 8:15.
Yeah. There you go. That game's at 8:15, and we're gonna bring that up right now.
I would have told you if you had it wrong, bud.
I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you. We're gonna keep that in because, teamwork makes the dream work. All right, let's go on to the next one here.
Here we go. Arnold.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and talk about
Arnold.
Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Giants, and Arnold's in there. I don't know why Arnold's in there. I'd like to know why,
Arnold. Because my favorite coffee mug.
yeah, yeah, cool. Coffee mug. We don't believe in coffee mugs here.
Best coffee mug ever. He's got Rugrats.
We believe in unsolicited
Ren and
sponsorship.
Stimpy. Hey Arnold. Our Real Monsters. Yeah.
All right.
Rocco's Modern Life.
There you go. All right, let's get rid of let's mute Derrick real quick. Just kidding. All right, so Philadelphia Eagles, New York Giants. Derrick, this is all you. You tell me what's up, and I got a few things for you.
Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Giants. All right, this is going to be interesting because last time they played, it really wasn't that bad of a score. But same thing as Kansas City, got the yearly stats over for Philadelphia because they were the first overall seed, so they did not have to play in the wild card. So as far as that goes, passing yards 289 for Daniel Jones in the first wild card game. That's pretty solid, I would say.
Oh yeah.
I mean, typically you'd want 300, but close enough.
But his feet, man, he ran so well.
So I mean, he had Saquon Barkley to dump it off too. I mean, I feel like it's just complimentary football over there too.
Oh yeah.
So rushing yards 142. That's pretty solid rushing right there. Like I said, Saquon Barkley. How could you not? Completion percentage at 66.5.
Average yards per play 6.3. Like they did a great job.
You'd want that completion percentage up higher. I mean, average yards per play 6.3. I'll take that anytime. I mean, you can see what the year is for the Eagles, and that's with a running quarterback and a passing quarterback.
So yeah, I mean the Eagles are the number one team. So this is the one thing I wanted to bring up is that the Eagles are the number one team against the pass. They're 3,057 yards allowed.
Yeah.
They're number 16th against the run. So as you clearly see here, they're going to face a running team. And don't get me wrong, they faced them twice this year, and it's been rough sailing. I mean, whether we want to talk about whether or not the Eagles benched some players for the last game that they played, it was 24 to 18, something like that. They only won by a few points, but this game might be interesting. This might be one of those upset cards because Giants are playing with house money. They never were supposed to make the playoffs.
The only thing that concerns me is no defensive sacks and no defensive turnovers in that wild card game
against the number one sacking team.
Yeah.
So like the Eagles can sack you,
but they did put up 31 points. So
yeah, put 31 points up against a decent Vikings defense, but they're going against like the number one defense.
I'd just like to see what the points would be like if Jalen Hurts didn't get hurt.
Oh, how high they would be? They'd probably be the number
477, one. And he missed what, 3 games?
Yeah, so Kansas City is 490 points scored, and 477 is the second best in the league. So imagine if Jalen Hurts was healthy for the full 18 weeks. I mean, this might be an issue that the Eagles have to deal with because of injuries, but so who are you taking? I'm taking Philadelphia. I do think that if you're betting, I'm not betting on this game. I'll bet Giants all day, but I'm not betting the Eagles because I don't think the Eagles are going to cover the spread. No offense to the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts come back off an injury. It's going to be difficult for him to perform against a Giants team that's not. I don't hate the word. I don't like it when they call a team opportunistic, which we'll talk about with the Bengals defense. But this is a solid team all around. They're well coached. They play very well, and when they have their opportunities, they do what they can. They do a very good job with it. So what do you got? Who do you got for me?
I honestly think I'm gonna pick the Giants here. I just feel like their run attack could do some things. It just all comes down to is Jalen Hurts ready to perform? Like, is he healthy? Is he fresh, ready to go?
Is he going to get re-injured? Did they rush him back? If I were the Eagles, I think I might have sat him one more game. Don't get me wrong. You're the first seed.
They were working for that first overall seed. I don't think so. I think the Bills might have done the same thing.
Yeah. So I'm excited about this game. This is definitely a game I'm excited about, and we hit the 5-minute mark, so that's exciting, right? We made it. We got 12 seconds left to spare. So you want to fit in 12 seconds of content real quick before we move?
Picking the Giants. That's all. Brian Daboll and the Giants.
Brian Daboll and the Giants. Ooh, it's exciting. It's really exciting. All right, let's go ahead and there's an alarm there. All right, we got Cincinnati Bengals versus Buffalo Bills at Highmark Stadium. Let's set the 5-minute countdown. Talk to me, sir. What do you got for me?
Well, I got the game stats from the wild card game last week, and the more I look at it, and the more I think if the Bills don't play as poorly as they did, the stupid mistakes and the drops, I really feel like we can win this game.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I mean, I'm still Bengals and the Bills are a really good team. So, I mean, first off, you got the three of the best quarterbacks in all of football. Pro Football Focus ranks Josh Allen number 1, total offense, and Joe Burrow number 3. These guys lead their offenses, and they do it as the best in the NFL.
It's going to be I feel like it's going to be a close game. Who knows? Maybe the point score down at the bottom looks like the final score, hopefully, but.
Yeah, so I mean, the fourth quarter, Joe Burrow didn't score anything. I mean, they didn't really move the ball that well. 209 yards, 51 rushing yards. I mean, you made a comment about this earlier. That looks like a halftime mark.
Right, I mean, it's at halftime, and you're like, well, that ain't bad.
That ain't bad. 71% completion percentage. I mean, the fact that they completed 71% against a lackluster offense, lackluster defense with the Ravens, I think that's good. But you're not going to be able to put 71% against the Bills defense. I mean, they rank pretty well in passing. They're top 10 league. They rank 9th. Bengals rank 16th in passing defense. So, I mean, we're looking at a rough defensive game against Joe Burrow. I mean, the sacks, Bills rank 16th in sacks with 40. Bengals rank 28th. So this is going to be a weird defensive game. I mean, don't get me wrong. Both these teams are great offensively. The defense
points are going to be scored. That everybody needs to know that points are going to be scored.
Yeah. So when we talk about the Bills can turn over the ball, they can get after it. However, the Bengals are the 4th best in giveaways. They don't really give the ball away. They're very stingy with the ball. They're very good at maintaining possession, which the Bills, as we have seen,
having turnovers.
Commit turnovers that make the Miami Dolphins look like a better team than they actually were. So we have 5 for 27 defensive sacks and pressures. So, I mean, 5 for 27 attempts. They did a really good job against the Miami Dolphins. Don't get me wrong. You still got a good, maybe decent pressuring team.
Well, you're going to have to do really good against this banged-up offensive line for sure.
Yeah, they're going to have to get after it. I mean, I think Joe Burrow is going to be uncomfortable. I don't think that Joe Burrow is going to have what it takes to win it. I mean,
quick passes. It's going to be quick passes.
Quick passes. So the Bills and Bengals both rank amongst top 5 in the league for rushing defense, 4th and 5th. But here's the problem, is that both these quarterbacks are mobile. Don't get me wrong, Joe Burrow stays in the pocket. He's definitely a pocket passer. But he can still move his legs. So, I mean, who knows, man? This game's going to be fun to watch. What do you got?
Sure.
Who do you got for this game, sir?
I got the Bills. I have to.
You have to. Bills fan. Number 1, everything is everything. I'm going with the Bills too, and I think that this score is going to be lopsided. And I know I shouldn't say that, especially on recorded. I'm a Bills fan, but like looking at it, thinking about it, 3 of your offensive linemen are questionable. I mean, 2 are not playing, and one of the better offensive lines in football progressively over the past few weeks. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've got 8 wins in a row for the Bills, 9 wins in a row for the Bengals. They're good teams, but I think that if the Bengals had their offensive line, we might be questioning this a little bit more. But they don't get pressures. They don't really do a good job on defense against a pass-heavy offense. It's going to be rough.
I just think if the Bills just play complementary football, we just got the better chance to win.
They had a lot of drops, so 59% completion percentage is the worst in Wild Card Weekend. I mean, they had a lot of drops. They had a lot of issues. They had turnovers. But, it's playoffs.
The drops have to stop, too. I mean, if it freaking hits your hands, dude, catch the ball.
Catch it, yeah. I agree with that. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from the Bengals. The Bengals are a great team. Bills are a great team, but I think the Bills just have a better defense, and that's what's going to have them win. Don't get me wrong, Bengals got a good offense, but defense wins playoff games.
All right, what do we got next?
All right, let's hit this
next on the docket.
Next on the docket.
Ooh, this is going to be a good game.
This is going to be a great game.
Especially if the Dallas Cowboys of last week show up against the 49ers.
I know. This is why this is the Sunday night football game, because San Francisco 49ers, Dallas Cowboys blew out their other teams. They didn't even have a chance. There was no point in any game that the other teams really came in. Don't get me wrong, Seattle Seahawks looked good in the first half, and they had the lead. San Francisco was like, all right, we're done. We can't let this happen. We could just show up with Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and company, and they just went to town. I mean, passing 324 yards, 297 yards. Not the best. Reference to Josh Allen, I think he had the best in the wild card weekend. However, these total yards, 505 total yards for San Francisco, 425 total yards for Cowboys, 181 rushing yards for San Francisco, 128 yards for Cowboys. I mean, these guys are two of the best offenses in the playoffs right now, and San Francisco is probably the best overall team.
Sabres just scored. Sabres scored.
Sorry, the Sabres game's going on in the background here. We're paying attention to it, but that's fine. So we're looking at two really good teams, right? Offensively, really good teams. Defensively, really good teams.
Yeah.
This is gonna be fun. So 16 pressures. They only got to the quarterback 3 times. Geno Smith is a mobile quarterback. And let's look at Dallas. 2 sacks on 24 pressures. They had a really good game. I mean, should we stop talking bad about Dak Prescott? Is this when we stop talking bad about him, or should we still just bash him?
Well, I don't know. You got to keep winning, right, to change the narrative.
You got to keep winning and change the narrative. So
I never heard one game.
The Cowboys, Brett Mayer. Should we talk about him real quick? I know that's everyone's favorite.
Yeah, go for it.
1 extra point out of 5. 1 out of 5. There was a video of Dak Prescott saying, just go for 2. But, who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he missed 3 all year, so I'm not too worried about him. However, Dak Prescott was the best passing rating.
It could have been bad, though.
It could have been. Yeah, you're right. It could have been like Tom Brady comes back and all of a sudden they lose by 4 points. Oh, wait. Could have had it. But it wasn't bad. They had the lead the entire time. They were winning the game. Dak Prescott was the best passing rating quarterback in the wild card. There wasn't a better quarterback. So he did a really good job. Pro Football Focus rating him the best. I think he was like 88.3%. I mean, Brock Purdy did pretty well too, but his completion percentage was 60%, where Dak 75.8%. They didn't really need to do much. They just always found the red zone, found the end zone. They had 5 touchdowns. They only scored 31 points with 5 touchdowns because they missed 4 extra points. And San Francisco with 4 touchdowns, 4 field goals, and 3 extra points. The issue that I have with San Francisco right now is that sometimes they don't find the red zone, or the end zone. Sometimes they don't. I mean, they'll move the ball all the time. They had 7 times they moved down the ball and scored. But Cowboys scored at every time they were in the red zone, they scored. So if you really want to think about it, this is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a matchup that is going to be fun. Get some popcorn. Enjoy. Mark Parsons with Cowboys is going to be the difference maker. I'm going Cowboys this one. What you got for me?
I will say the only rebuttal I have about the perfect possessions, you will, about going down and scoring is, I think we did that last year against New England, right?
Yeah.
And then the following game, we played another incredible game, but just fell short.
Yeah.
So you can play a perfect game and then the next week play a poop game. Not a poop game, but be on the wrong side of
a really good game.
Right. So
this looks like Kansas City and Buffalo Bills.
I just think that San Francisco has one of the best defenses, and it's just hard to move the ball on them.
Yeah.
Especially with a Bosa brother.
Yeah. However, Charles Omenihu, if I'm saying that correctly, on the defense for San Francisco was a monster. So he had 2 sacks, 2 of the 3 sacks. Right. He also had 5 pressures. I mean, he was great for San Francisco. So
I got 49ers.
Hey, man, this one's like flip a coin, pick one. Let's go.
I got 49ers, though.
My reasoning behind picking Cowboys over San Francisco is twofold. Defense is going to be a game changer for Cowboys. I think Micah Parsons is going to implement his footing in the world of NFL in this game. However, Brock Purdy, and again, people can bash me for saying this, he's a rookie. Don't get me wrong. He's 7 games in a row. He's won 6 games, technically.
Could have fooled me.
But he is a rookie, and somehow, some way, that defense for the Dallas Cowboys is going to make you think. Don't get me wrong. I hate their head coach, but he's defensive-minded, and he's going to make them guess. He's going to make them guess and guess. Hopefully wrong, and get that 1 or 2 turnovers that's going to change the game. So I'm going to Cowboys probably up by 7. No more. So it's going to be a 1-score game. It's got to be a 1-score game. If it's Cowboys way more than that, then San Francisco's got to look at their entire team. But this is exciting, man. This is exciting. So let's close this up real quick. Thank you so much for stopping by, guys. We definitely do appreciate it here at the Kazznation Sports Talk Show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We are gearing up for a live show that will be coming down within a month, 2 months. We'll obviously get you notifications, give you a heads up while we work through the rigmarole of getting that stuff taken care of, making sure we're going to be there day in and day out, or week in and week out, because we're not doing more than one show right now. But you can file takes, dude. Anything else you want to say here? Anything you got?
Oh, yeah, buckle up for this weekend because it should be very, very thrilling.
Very thrilling. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited. Go ahead and put in the comments what you think.
3 o'clock on Sunday, I'm turning my phone off, and
that's it. Yeah, you can't. I mean, we're Bills fans, so we're going to be sitting on the edge. Hopefully we didn't say too much bad about the Bengals, but we're Bills fans. We try not to be biased, but sometimes when all you hear is a certain radio station talking about how the Bengals are just so much better. It's all right. What are you saying, sir?
I just read facts.
I can't hear a word you said. You're going to have to say that one more time.
I just read facts.
You just read facts. Well, yeah, the facts looked good. They looked pro-Buffalo. But it's the Bengals, man. They got a good team. They were in the Super Bowl last year. They're AFC Conference Championship champions last year.
They are the AFC Championship defenders. So, whatever. They hold the title.
To me, that should have been the Sunday night game, but Sunday night game is still good. So, I mean, both on Sunday, both good games.
Oh, no, dude. Wait until Sunday night. Dude, my nerves are shot. By 8:30, I'm like crying.
Yeah, well, you get to enjoy a really good game.
And then, once they go up like 17, I'm just like, this is the greatest thing ever. Oh, never had a doubt.
The 10 points, you're still like, oh, get that one more touchdown, one more.
10 points is still scary. Yeah, give me 17, and I'm still sweating, but not as much.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it for us. Kazznation Sports Talk, as always. Stay safe, show some kindness, and go Bills, go
God
Bengals,
bless.
Go your team. He hated that I said go Bengals. All right, guys, we're out. You guys have a good one. Take it easy.
Peace.